show is just this. It's a way for individuals to express themselves and to be themselves, but at the same time, giving the audience a show that they will never forget. It's almost like the gay community's version of watching entertainers such as Usher or Beyonce or Janet Jackson live in concert, but it's an impersonation of them. Somebody up there that's doing them, that's giving them this wonderful show. I started doing drag when I was like 14. I started playing around with it. Of course, I was one of the little kids who would sneak out to the clubs when I wasn't supposed to. And went out one particular night with a friend of mine, and who I thought was a real girl.
Okay.
Come to find out, she was a transgender. Okay. I didn't know it because we went to school, and she came to school as a girl, and, you know, she was a girl. Mm-hmm. So when we went out to the club, and she was like, "We going to see the show," and I'm like, "Show?" I'm like, "Okay, so somebody singing or something? Okay." So when everybody started coming out, I was like, "Oh my God! Oh wow! You know, I want to do this. How can I do this?" Mm-hmm. She put me up in drag, as they call it. And when she did, it was just like, when she turned me around to the mirror, it was a feeling that I really cannot explain. It was like I was looking at somebody else. I didn't see myself. And it was like, oh my God, who was that? And it kind of gives you an outer body experience at first, like, who is that? That's me. It can't be me. You know, I'm pretty. So she was like, you got the look, so let's see if you got the talent to go with it. And I got on stage, and one of the legendary queens who's no longer with us, Miss Vogue, after I got off stage, she said, if you keep doing this, you're going to be somebody. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. I didn't know who she was at the time. I was like, some queen just, so they was like, that's Miss Vogue. And I was like, oh, okay. But, you know, that's pretty much how I got started. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Mm-hmm. It's my way to express myself. It's my way to set myself stress free. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's a good thing to do. My influence is probably Burger King. That's no seriously. I mean, they have good after the show, you know. You put on a good show, you be hungry. But no, some of my influences would have to be like my parents, or my father. He didn't really too much like the fact that, you know, I was gay or whatever. But then once he seen it on video, he would never come to a show, but he seen it on video, and he was like, wow, if that's what you're going to do, be the best at it, you know. You know where I stand at, but I always want you to be the best at whatever you do. So, and I was like, okay, I can take that, you know. Some of my other influences, of course, are, you know, my drag mother, Kitty Litter, some of the older queens, Miss Vogue, Patrina Marie, Alexis, Vicky Valentino, you know, those that were before me, Dieta Pepsi, those who came before me who have been helping me along the way to be who I am and kind of guiding me. And along with that, some of the mainstream music stars, Jennifer Hudson, Jennifer Holliday, you know, the big girls, Monique, all of them, because they took it upon themselves to just be themselves. And if you big, be big, you know. Even though all three of them lost weight now. So I guess that's kind of telling me I need to lose a pound or two. But, you know, those were my influences, and those were the people that kept me going and kept me doing what I wanted to do. And the main influence right now is my fiance. He's the one that's behind me. He tells me, hey, if this is what you're going to do, suck it up and do it. Mm-hmm. You know, don't be a punk about it. You know, you want this, go get it. If you ain't going to go get it, shut up.
Okay, that's
what's up. Like, wow, just blunt. One of my biggest moments was I lived out in LA, and I was working at one of the drag clubs out there that's very hard to get in. It's called Peanuts. Okay. And the reason why Peanuts is so hard to get in is because that's normally when the celebrities want to see a drag show, mm-hmm. they go to Peanuts to see a drag show. Okay. So I did Hollywood Pride, and I won. So the show director was like, you're awesome, I want to book you and all this. And then I was like, okay, cool. So she said, be here next Monday at 8 o'clock. Show starts at 9:30. So I said, okay, cool. So she was like, it's our illusion show. So whatever illusions you bring 2 illusions. So I was like, who am I doing? I was like, I know I'm doing Jennifer. Who else am I doing? And I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and show them my Missy Elliott. I'm going to do Missy Elliott. So I was like, I looked at the crowd, and it was packed in there. So I said, well, I'm going to do Missy first. So I had made me a little Missy mix and everything, and I'm up there, music make you lose control, and everybody starts screaming, and I turn around, what's up? And I'm all like this, and I'm moving and grooving, and the people tipping, and all of a sudden I just freeze, and I'm like, it's Missy Elliott.
Really?
The actual, she was like, standing there in front of me, and I'm like,
really?
And she stood there, she took me 5 $100 bills, and she said, it amazes me how much you have put your illusion to look just like me. She said, the only thing, I wouldn't wear them shoes if the wheels were too high. And I laughed about it. But my second greatest moment, I would have to say, is last year in November when I won Miss Fanny's Ball. It was a triumphant moment for me because I had been competing for Fanny's for over 6 or 7 years. And it's, neither here or there. There's a couple of years that people were like, you really won, and they didn't give it to you. It was a hard struggle to get it. Princeton can even, vouch for that. A lot of people did not want me to win it. I had a lot of odds against me, but as usual, I'm myself. I pulled myself together. I did what I had to do, and it was the best feeling in the world to hear my name called, because the year before that, I got left standing on the stage with nothing. And it was 4 of us, and I was just standing there with nothing, literally. So to come from standing there and not getting anything to coming back the next year and winning, it was just an achievement that, I can never replace.